There's a lot that can happen in these steps. Before we kind of go and jump in individually and look at each of these stages a bit more, anything that stands out or any tips that you have here, Christine?
Yeah, I think it all flows together. So, I was just talking about building that buy-in one-to-one individually going across the company. I mean, usually you need to have that in place before you can even get to that deep strategy building session, to where you have to have the folks that are going to make the decision on what are those, big priorities for next year, bought into even thinking about that, and then hopefully lining them up with what your needs have shown based on materiality and the assessment that you've done. So that strategy setting phase is really where you get down to those key priorities. And then you've had that stamp, you've identified what your key priorities are. It's time to action them, and hopefully at that point you have all the support you need in order to be able to action. I guarantee if you set a few goals in that strategy session, somebody is going to want to know how you're doing on them. It might be your clients, it might be your board, it might be your investors, it might be your employees. A lot of times employees are actually the biggest stakeholders and the biggest advocates for taking action on here. But you have to be prepared, even if you're not regulatorily reporting, to be able to report progress in some way. So it's really, I designed this framework to think about it in an annual sense. Like it's a cycle that you go through on an annual basis to make sure that you're continuing to improve.
And I think that's the key there, and goes back to, I think, a point that you made on LinkedIn as well. It's like, don't strive to be like, an A+ company, and particularly not overnight. Like, it is a continuous process. Every year you're doing something, you're working out, what can we focus on this year? What is within, our right-sized fit for our business to work on this year? And that is, I think, what stakeholders want to see as well, that you make progress, that you focus on the right issues at the right time, you get your stakeholders on board, that you listen to them, that you implement that, and that you demonstrate, you go through these steps. You've thought about it strategically, you've taken action, and you're reporting on how you're doing. And you, year over year, you're moving forward, rather than trying to, in year one, do the best report, take the best actions you can, but then you can't move forward in year two because it's all been too much, get overwhelmed. So